Okay, sorry about the long break. It's been long, exhausting days and took some time for me to get back to the table. But here we are continuing on our Alpha Strike Chaos campaign with Mission 3. This is Counterattack. Now, in between these tracks, we got to do some repairing and refitting to all of our mechs. I didn't record anything for that because it's ultimately a lot of boring, fiddly math, and I don't really know a good way to represent that other than just showing you me clicking around on a spreadsheet. So all of that I've already done. I decided that because the defenders have done a pretty good job of kicking my butt, and because my Mercenaries Kickstarter came in, I was going to allow them to bring in some more assets than normal. So this fight's going to be a little lopsided, which Chaos Campaign typically doesn't want you to do, but I wanted to get a couple of those warrior helicopters out here, and so you're going to see them on the side of the bad guys here, the defenders. I also could have either played the game or spent the time painting them, so I didn't. So much to my deep chagrin, our warriors are unpainted today. It's killing me. I hate it, but I wanted to get them on the table so you could see them. So that's what's going on. Defenders are going to outnumber me and outpoint me here a little bit. We'll see if that is as bad as it sounds. In terms of counterattack, it's basically what it sounds like. It's the most plain Jane of the missions here in this Chaos Campaign Succession Wars. We start on opposite sides of the map. We start hitting each other until someone gives up. Notably, force withdrawal is not in effect here, so if someone wants to stick around and risk it, they're allowed to. The only thing that's really stopping us from keeping mechs on the table is not wanting those mechs to be destroyed, and whoever holds the field gets to salvage everything, which is going to cost war chest points, so maybe you won't be able to take everything with you, which means there's probably going to be some mechs that are just straight up lost at the end of this fight. Let's get into it. Round one is pretty uneventful. Everyone is laying low, trying to get moved up, trying to get in position to get good shots in. I believe this is when their Centurion just got a lucky Hail Mary indirect fire hit into my Timberwolf for a blow-through crit that took out weapons. So my Timberwolf is working with fewer weapons straight from the beginning, which is a bummer. Though it gives as good as it gets in terms of indirect fire here. Turn 2, the center and left flank for the enemy is moving pretty slowly, mostly because it is slow, but also they didn't want to take any hits as they were moving in, so they've been kind of cagey. The Warriors let them get a lot less cagey over here on the right flank. As you can see, they're starting to maneuver around. If you've played any Mech Warrior 5, you know how it treats those helicopter pilots, like their lives don't matter, and that's how I was having the Op 4 treat them in this case. It's going to work out because they end up lasting longer than I'd like them to, but that made the right flank fight dynamic straight away. I do get first blood on the enemy's Pouncer, which is ideal because it hits really hard. Turn 3, I was in a weird place, so my Mongoose had to get really sneaky. I wanted to apply it to the Crab, but the initiative made things kind of risky, so it's instead threatening everyone else. That Blackhawk is coming hard for my Timberwolf here. Thanks to its AMS, I'm going to be a lot less effective against it. As you can see, it's war against these helicopters, and fortunately I sent one of these VTOLs into the dirt, thank God. But other than that, we're pressing on this Crab, trying to take it out. I'm desperately trying to keep my Trebuchet alive, stop it from being shot in the back as it's been for the majority of the previous turns. Next turn is more maneuvering to take out this Crab. I was just rolling garbage. It really should have been destroyed about here. But of course, the Warrior helicopters are complicating things and putting my Trebuchet into a really bad place. I was really hoping my Phoenix Hawk could put it down with a good shot, and it almost happened here. The Blackhawks moving in on the Timberwolf. They're both being pretty cagey, and that heavy middle from the enemy forces is just not finding the shots they want, so they're just pressing along as best they can. Mongoose is getting its shots into the Crab, but next round is really when it's going to get to shine. All unfortunate, you hate to see it. The Blackhawk is just putting a lot of fire into my Timberwolf, and it's taking some indirect fire from the Atlas and the Centurion. Oh, but there's our Mongoose shooting just within 6 inches right up the tailpipe of that Atlas. Feels good. You love to see it. The Guillotine's in a good position, and it hits hard, so I kind of have to stay away from it. The Crab is still there, annoyingly. The Warrior's on its last legs, but still there, so is my Trebuchet in a fight for the pilot's life here. Here we go. Slow pan over to the Mongoose. Roll that beautiful Mongoose footage. That was 4 dice I got to roll, all 4 of them hitting. The Goose is loose, and I called it in to do what I've been trying to do for 2 rounds, and it finally put that Crab in the dirt. That's freeing up the Marauder to try and put some fire into the Blackhawk problem over there. Still trying to stay away from the 3 big nasties that my opponent is bringing to bear. My Phoenix Hawk is bad hurt at this point, and so despite having that stealth module, it needs to stay out of the way so as not to take any more fire. My Timberwolf is in trouble here. It seems pretty clear that I'm going to lose it, but it's going to take at least one mech and maybe two with it before things go really sour. And Trebuchet and that VTOL still dueling each other. Yeah, this was ugly. Next turn, we learn a valuable lesson. War makes corpses of us all. Trebuchet goes down. So does that warrior helicopter that was beaten up on it. Mongoose and Marauder are strong, but they're not quite in the positions they want to be in. The heavies are trading safety for the shots that they want to get. Here you can see what you figured was going to happen to the Timberwolf happened, but at the cost of their Blackhawk. So fortunately, my pilot, my commander, punched out. Losing his rerolls on initiative is going to make things a lot harder from here on out, though. From here on out, I'm just going to speed along to show you snapshots of all of the turns without much commentary. I got into a weird place here where it was just a dance between their three mechs that were very powerful and my three mechs that were much more fragile, but in much better shape to make attacks, either outranging in the case of the guillotine or just being able to outdamage at any range in the case of fighting that Centurion. The only real threat, of course, was that Atlas, but only if I got it into medium range. At short range, it didn't do quite as much damage, and at long range, it was just plinking. So there was a lot of weird dancing here, trying to get my Mongoose behind that Atlas to take it out, but it having coverage made that really not going to happen. What I ended up deciding here after playing out these rounds was that ultimately my force was going to have the advantage here, was going to win it. They were going to lose more material than they wanted to. They would probably take out two of my mechs, but not before losing most or all of theirs. So once I'd done enough damage, I figured the Op 4 was just going to conscientiously exit the board and give me the field here. Butcher's Bill on both sides for the end of this mission. I need to look at my war chest points and see what I can salvage from the field and what I can't. I'm definitely going to pull my Timberwolf out, but I don't know how much else I'm going to be able to bring with me. So both of our forces have really took a shellacking here. I'm looking forward to the next mission, Breakthrough, which doesn't really require me to do a lot of stand-up fighting. I just got to get across their side of the map edge. So I'm going to bring some fast movers and see if I can survive the onslaught and get across without losing too many of my mechs and having too much to repair or mess with before the final assault. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.